What if everything you ever wanted came at the ultimate price? This is the story of Edward Hale. Edward Hale was the richest man in town, living alone in a grand estate overflowing with rare artifacts. One fateful night he stumbled upon a small, dusty box in his library, a family heirloom he'd never noticed before. Inside was a note that read, "To gain is to lose." Ignoring the cryptic warning, Edward opened the box further and discovered a beautiful golden ring. The moment he slipped it on, shadows gathered around him, whispering secrets of eternal wealth. Enthralled by the dark promise, Edward embraced his newfound fortune. But as dawn broke, Edward noticed something terrifying. His reflection was fading. Day by day, he grew less substantial, more ghostly. Soon he became invisible, trapped within his own mansion, rich beyond measure but unseen, unheard, lost forever in a prison of his own greed. Now, on stormy nights, locals swear they see faint shadows pacing the halls of the Hale estate, desperately searching for a way back to the world Edward sacrificed for wealth. Remember, sometimes the treasures we crave come with a price too steep to pay. So next time you find a mysterious heirloom, think twice before you embrace its promise. Who knows what shadows might be lurking, just waiting to claim their next victim? Edward Hale wasn't always a man of wealth and solitude. In his youth, he was driven by an insatiable ambition, a desire to rise above his humble beginnings. He worked tirelessly, investing in ventures that others deemed too risky. His shrewd decisions and relentless drive soon paid off, and he amassed a fortune that was the envy of all who knew him. As his wealth grew, so did his reputation. Edward became a prominent figure in high society, often hosting lavish parties at his grand estate. The halls of his mansion echoed with laughter and music, and he was always the center of attention, admired and envied by many. But despite his outward success, Edward felt a growing emptiness inside. The more he acquired, the more he realized that material wealth could not fill the void in his heart. He became increasingly reclusive, spending long hours alone in his study, surrounded by his vast collection of rare artifacts. It was during one of these solitary nights that Edward discovered the small, dusty box hidden away in a forgotten corner of his library. The box was intricately carved, and its age was evident from the layers of dust that covered it. Intrigued, Edward carefully opened the box, revealing the cryptic note and the beautiful golden ring inside. The moment he slipped the ring onto his finger, he felt a strange sensation, as if the shadows in the room were coming to life. They whispered to him, promising untold riches and eternal wealth. Edward, blinded by his greed, ignored the warning in the note and embraced the dark promise. In the days that followed, Edward's wealth grew beyond his wildest dreams. Gold coins and precious jewels seemed to appear out of nowhere, and his estate overflowed with treasures. But with each passing day, Edward's reflection in the mirror grew fainter, and he became more ghostly and insubstantial. One morning, as he stood before the mirror, Edward realized with horror that his reflection was completely gone. He reached out to touch the glass, but his hand passed through it as if he were a mere shadow. Panic set in as he realized the true cost of his greed. Trapped within the walls of his own mansion, Edward wandered the empty halls, unseen and unheard. The once lively estate was now a silent prison, and he was its invisible prisoner. His vast wealth was of no use to him now, and he was left to ponder the choices that had led him to this fate. The story of Edward Hale became a cautionary tale in the town. Locals spoke in hushed tones about the haunted Hale estate, and on stormy nights, they claimed to see faint shadows pacing the halls, desperately searching for a way back to the world of the living. The cryptic note found in the box, "To gain is to lose," served as a haunting reminder of the price Edward had paid for his greed. It was a lesson that resonated with all who heard his story, a warning to be careful what one wishes for. So, the next time you come across a mysterious heirloom or a tempting promise of wealth, remember the tale of Edward Hale. Think twice before you embrace its promise, for you never know what shadows might be lurking, just waiting to claim their next victim. The shadows are always there, waiting in the darkness, ready to ensnare those who let their greed blind them to the true cost of their desires. Be wary, for the price of greed is often too steep to pay.